Welcome to our countdown of the top 20 most powerful countries in the world. This list is not just a random assortment, it's a carefully curated selection. These rankings are based on a bunch of factors: economic might, military muscle, and technological advancements. Political influence, global reach, and diplomatic relationships also play a crucial role. Think of it like a geopolitical cocktail, with a dash of cultural influence thrown in for good measure. It's a blend that shapes the world order. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we'll be diving deep into these global heavyweights, exploring their strengths and weaknesses and what makes them stand out. Spoiler alert, some of them definitely don't deserve to be on this list, but that's what makes it interesting. Stay tuned. All right, let's get the obvious out of the way. The United States. It's the heavyweight champion of the world stage. It's like the Beyoncé of global power, consistently at the top, dazzling everyone with its influence and reach, whether you like it or not. The US has a way of making its presence felt everywhere. They've got the biggest economy, the most swell military, and enough cultural influence to make the rest of the world crave sugary cereals and superhero movies. From tech giants to Hollywood blockbusters, their impact is undeniable, but America's power is starting to look a little suspect. With a divided political system and a global reputation that's taken more hits than a piñata at a child's birthday party. The cracks are showing and the world is watching closely. Speaking of questionable food safety standards, let's talk about China. Their economy is a behemoth, their military is expanding faster than a teenager's appetite, and they're throwing their weight around in Africa and Asia like a panda in a bamboo factory. But China's rise isn't without its speed bumps, with human rights issues and an environmental record that's about as clean as a coal-powered karaoke bar. Still, underestimate them at your peril. Russia, land of borscht ballet and suspiciously well-timed election interference, allegedly. Russia's got vast natural resources, a nuclear arsenal, and a leader who looks good shirtless on a horse, allegedly. But their economy is about as stable as a unicycle on a tightrope, and their international reputation is about as appealing as a week-old potato salad. Chapter 4, India, the elephant, not the room. With a population larger than some continents and an economy growing faster than a vine on a trellis, they're quickly becoming a force to be reckoned with. They've got Bollywood, curry, and a military capable of defending their borders. India has its share of problems, from poverty and inequality to pollution and corruption. But don't let that fool you. This is a country on the rise. Chapter 5. The UK from empire to, well, this. Once upon a time, they ruled over a quarter of the globe. The sun never set on the British Empire, stretching from the Americas to Asia, Africa and beyond. It was a time of grandeur and global influence. Now they're struggling to keep Scotland from leaving the chat. The push for independence is stronger than ever, and the future of the United Kingdom hangs in the balance. They've still got a decent economy, a fancy accent, and a military capable of launching a strongly worded letter. Their financial sector remains robust, and their cultural influence is undeniable. Plus, they gave the world Harry Potter, which earns them a few bonus points. The magical world created by J.K. Rowling continues to captivate audiences worldwide, adding to the UK's cultural legacy. But let's be honest, Brexit has left them a bit like that one friend who shows up to a party after a bad breakup. A little awkward, a little lost, and desperately trying to pretend everything's fine. The economic and social impacts are still unfolding, and the nation is navigating uncharted waters. Chapter 6. France. More than just baguettes and surrender jokes. France is passionate, stylish, and not afraid to throw shade at anyone, especially the United States. They've got a robust economy, a formidable military, and a seat at the UN Security Council. Plus, they've got nuclear weapons, which is always a plus when you're trying to intimidate your neighbors. Chapter 7. Germany, efficiently powerful. Germany, the land of beer, bratwurst, and surprisingly catchy techno music. They're the powerhouse of Europe, with an economy larger than the entire continent of Africa. And, while their military might have taken a back seat since, you know, that whole World War II thing, they're still a force to be reckoned with. Chapter 8. Japan, tech titans. This is a country that can turn out a high-speed train faster than you can say bullet train. Their technological innovation is moving at a pace that would make even Elon Musk break a sweat. They've got the world's third largest economy and a culture that's both ancient and cutting edge. Japan's power isn't just about gadgets and gizmos. Chapter 9, Saudi Arabia, oil money, big problems. Saudi Arabia is like that rich friend who everyone puts up with because they throw lavish parties, even though they know that friend is kind of terrible. They've got more oil than a teenager's forehead, and they're not afraid to use it to throw their weight around. But beneath that veneer of wealth and influence lies a deeply troubling reality with a human rights record that would make a dictator blush. South Korea has pulled off one of the most impressive economic transformations in history, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. They've got Samsung, Hyundai and BTS, which is basically the Beatles of the 21st century. Plus, they've managed to do all of this while living next door to a neighbour who's about as stable as a bowl of Jell-O on a roller coaster. If Canada was a person, they'd be that really nice friend who always brings the good snacks to the party and apologises when someone else spills their drink. They've got more natural resources than a lumberjack's wet dream and universal healthcare. The only downside to Canada, they have to live next door to the United States. Italy. A country where the food is as good as the politics are messy. We're here for the pasta, the pizza, and the art that makes the Renaissance look like an elementary school art fair. Plus, they've got the Vatican, which is basically a tiny country run by a guy in a funny hat who has a direct line to God, or so he claims. Chapter 13. Turkey, the bridge between worlds and also a bit of a mess. Turkey, straddling the line between Europe and Asia, both geographically and metaphorically. They're a key NATO member, but they're also cozying up to Russia. It's a complicated situation, and frankly, I'm not sure anyone knows what's going on there, least of all them. Chapter 14, Australia, where everything wants to kill you, but the economy's great. Australia, a land of sunshine, beaches, and enough venomous creatures to make you want to stay inside and never leave. But hey, at least they've got a strong economy, a stable government, and a really relaxed attitude towards life. Plus, they gave the world Hugh Jackman. So that's got to be worth something, right? Just watch out for spiders, snakes, sharks, jellyfish, and drop bears. Chapter 15, Israel. Small country, big influence. Israel, a tiny country with a massive impact on global politics. They've got a highly advanced military, a thriving tech sector, and a history that's as complex and contentious as a game of Risk. But one thing's for sure, Israel is a country that punches well above its weight. Chapter 16, Brazil. Brazil. Home to the Amazon rainforest, the Carnival Festival, and an economy that's about as predictable as a game of roulette. They've got vast natural resources, a vibrant culture, and a love of soccer that borders on religious fervor. But they're also dealing with corruption, inequality, and deforestation that's threatening one of the world's most important ecosystems. Chapter 17. The United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates, a country that's basically a real-life version of SimCity on fast forward. They've gone from a desert backwater to a global hub for finance, tourism, and of course really tall buildings. But beneath the glitz and glamour, there are some serious concerns about human rights, worker exploitation, and the sustainability of their economic model. Chapter 18. Iran, Persian power and international mystery. Iran, a country shrouded in mystery, intrigue, and enough sanctions to make a Swiss banker blush. They're a major player in the Middle East, with a powerful military and a nuclear program that's got the whole world on edge. Whether they're a force for stability or a source of regional tension is a matter of perspective. Chapter 19, Pakistan, nuclear power and strategic importance. Pakistan, a country that's often overlooked but strategically vital. They've got nuclear weapons, a powerful military, and a complex relationship with their neighbours, particularly India and Afghanistan. They're also facing internal challenges, from terrorism and political instability to poverty and inequality. Chapter 20, Indonesia, the rising tiger of Southeast Asia. Indonesia, the sleeping giant of Southeast Asia, is finally waking up. With the world's largest Muslim population, a rapidly growing economy, and a strategic location at the crossroads of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, they're a force to be reckoned with. They've got their fair share of challenges, but Indonesia's potential is undeniable. Thanks for watching our countdown of the top 20 most powerful countries in the world. Remember, these rankings are just a snapshot in time, and the global balance of power is constantly shifting. Some of these countries are on the rise, while others are struggling to maintain their grip. But one thing's for sure, the world is a fascinating and unpredictable place, and these 20 countries are shaping the future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.